Here we go. So I'm back to this website here where we're scraping the data from. I just come here and then I hover over the first thing in the table. I right click on it and then I click the inspect button and it takes me directly to that line of code in the HTML that the server returned. Right here, exactly where I hovered over. Okay, notice that if I go up here, I got T-body, which contains everything else. You can tell because it highlights it all, or you can also tell because this blue line that like encapsulates all of these things and then stops here with the end of this table tag. Okay, so all these things inside are what I'm getting. All right, now this body or this table oh, actually, T-body stands for table body. So we have a table and we have table body. So we're getting the table body, which has all the data that we want. Look at that. So that's the name of this tag, okay? Specified as a class, one of his attribute class is equal to row hover. Notice how row hover never appears anywhere else in this code as a T-body class. So we can address this line of code specifically from its tag over here in our code. Right here. We're addressing that line of the HTML specifically by specifying it here in our find function. Okay. I have the movies code over here on the left just as reference, but this is my top 100 websites that we were going over in class today. All right, cool. So notice how T-body contains all those things. It contains a bunch of TRs, which are probably table rows, I'm gonna guess. So table row has a couple different things. Now TD is probably table data, not sure, but in our case each TD stands for one separate column as we go through. Okay, so it's like those Russian nesting dolls. Okay, there's the body, and inside of that there's the row, and then inside of that there's the columns. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is let me do like side by side here. Yeah, like that. I don't know how to get rid of this piece here. I can maybe get rid of the console. Okay, cool. If I can't get rid of that, I can do this. No, don't know how to get rid of that. That? No. Whatever, it's gonna stay. Cool. All right, so this is how we're looking. So if we go, where am I at here? T-body row hover. Okay, check that out. All right, let's look at the code now. So, come on, there we go. All right. So previously on Rotten Tomatoes, we had attribute tags instead of TRs, okay? So now we have TRs. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go and get right here, we got a table. We got the entire table. This T-body, we got the whole thing this way because T-body coordinates with this T-body. Okay, the tag name attributes are the attributes and the exact table that name that is assigned to it. So its attributes are class and row hover. This is the name of this T-body. It's called row hover. Interesting name. Don't know why they chose that, but they did. Cool. So that contains all that data. And we kind of got, that's like, I feel like that's where we were most solid in class. Is that cool? We just got all that. Now, what we want is we want to get all the columns data. So because for my program, I just care about the website and how many visits, I'm going to use a dictionary because those are good pairs because there's no duplicate websites. And so I'm going to go ahead and just create two new soup objects, I think they are. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, David. Okay, look, it makes so much sense now. Okay, so this return, beautiful soup, creates a soup object of the URL data, okay? This searches a soup object and returns another soup object with only those things from this soup object. So it's like a little filter right here, okay? We're gonna do another filter on this soup object, which is less than the previous one, and then have a more specified data set of soup right here, okay? So that's what's happening. Oh my goodness, it's all clicking now. Okay, So I want the website URL raw data. So what I mean by this is I'm just gonna rename this website URLs, just like that. Cool. So I'm gonna replace that down here too. Sweet. So these are all just the URLs. Notice the URLs are only in columns 2. So what I want to do is I want to do a find all on it and name the tag type, which is a TD. Okay. And I want to name the class, and then I need to name the specific class in the TR. So right now we're in the T body. Okay. I'm kind of gonna just ignore the TR because they all have a TR and I care and I want it. So I'm not gonna filter those out. I'm gonna keep that filter available. And then I'm just gonna search for all the column 2s. I'm gonna search for this column 2. I'm gonna go and search for this column 2. I'm gonna go search for this column 2 right here. And that's all that this line of code does, is it goes and gets all of the column 2s from all of the TDs inside of T body. Okay, it's going to go through all these TDs, ignoring the TRs, and pulling only column 2 from each of them, which is my websites. Okay, then it's going to take all of those and it's going to put them inside of a soup that's a little smaller than the first one, called website URLs. That's going to have a bunch of tags, TD, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'll just demonstrate that for you. If I do that, then if I comment this out, let's just print website URLs and we'll run that. I just wish we had more time in class to talk about this stuff and like go walk through it. All right, here we are. So, yep, there we go. We have all of the TDs that have a column 2 as their name. And that's it. That's all we have. We don't have column 1s, we have column 3s, okay? Because we specified I just want column 2s right here in the attributes, okay? Sick. So let's go ahead and we'll undo that. That was just to demonstrate real fast. Okay, cool. So now I want to know all the visits. So what I do is I do the same exact thing, but I just say I want column 3 instead. So these are, I'm going to call it website visits. Is a better name. Okay, there we go. So it does the same exact thing as before. I'm not going to walk you through it because I think you will understand it's the same deal. Okay, same concept. Here's me initializing my dictionary of websites. I'm going to call it actually websites dictionary. Cool. Now what we'll do is, I can take that out too. Okay, tight. So now I have all this raw data. It looks like this down here below, all like kind of close together and jumbled up. Okay. So if, for example, let me do a quick temp test real fast on this. I'm gonna pause the video. Okay, David, so I'm back here. I just did a little test. So this will actually print out right here, line 16, how many things are in here. And it acts kind of like a dictionary in a way, I mean, a list in a way, with some variations. So this is the length of it, and it printed out here. There's 100, which makes sense. It's the top 100 websites anyways. Cool. So then I went ahead, and if I wanted to print out the first 5 things in website URLs, I could do something like this, line 18, 19, which down here, if you see, it prints off, starting at the 0th index, that tag that we had pulled out previously, okay? So it has column 2 and has everything. Okay, this is what I'm bringing this up because now we're going to look into what this whole GetText and GetText.strip is. So notice how it's doing all that, okay? That's a tag. GetText just does that. In fact, let me just delete strip and see what happens. YouTube, guess what? The same, nothing changed. So yeah, that's cool. Because I feel like GetText already does the strip part. I don't think it's taking anything off. Yeah, check it yourself, but it looks pretty much the same to me. So in fact, I'm gonna avoid that. Okay, so what we do here is we basically say how many websites are there. Let's loop through them. And then this, notice I use a range in here. I use that because I need to have this variable to specify which thing I'm printing out at that time. Okay. In fact, just for fun, I'm going to change this to J. So now that needs to be J and this needs to be J. That way it's a little more concise for you. Cool, a little more what you're used to. So what we're doing is we're going to go all the way through. Okay, so now I want the current site URL that I want to put in the dictionary from there. So I'm going to get the first thing in this soup right here, the soup index, and I'm just going to get the text. Now, if I do that right here, I should be able to do .get text, and it should just, instead of right here printing out the whole tag, it should just give me the text part. Let's see. Boom, ta-da. So that's how you get just the text out of there, okay? To print out nicely. That's what GetText is doing. Cool. So I just get the text and and that's my site URL. And then I do the same thing for visits, okay? Website visits is the same thing as up here, just all that tag data. And then I create my dictionary, okay? I put it in there. So I do site URL equals site visits, saying that the URL is the index, and then the visits is the value. Cool. The last thing is just printing it out. So I have this counter here that's in charge of printing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. And then I print the counter, and then I print I, which is going to be the current thing I'm looking at. So I should actually change this to website, and then change I to website, and then change this to website. Cool, that would make more sense. And so yeah, I just go through, I print that out. I say print out I just googled this, like how to print stuff out of a dictionary, and some guy on Google has this where it's an easy way of printing out the index followed by the value. So prints out the index, which are the names of the websites, and then the value, which is that index is value. Oh, maybe I could do website dot something. Let's try that. Website dot, no, I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay, we're gonna stick to that. So then this prints out the value associated with that website, which is this thing here. All right, cool. That's how it goes. Totally go back and rewatch this video and like pause it, check stuff out, try it out yourself. Hopefully that makes sense as far as HTML tags are going right now. This is my movie code. I think we already have that though. Let me show you one more thing. So like basically we should be able to go to like any website we want. Like let's go see top video games, and then we go here, see what they got, you know. cool. We go here, Pokemon Go, Borderlands, Pokemon Go. What? That's number 100. Let's say, how is that like a top game? Okay, I can't click on everything here. Just gonna scroll to the bottom. Okay, nothing is working on this website, so I'm gonna go switch websites. Let's do Wikipedia. Oh, this is a nice table. Look, that's easy. So what we'll do is we'll just right click on anywhere, pretty much. I'll click on the first thing usually. Right click on it, inspect it. Voila, look at this. This doesn't seem too unfamiliar. We have a table which highlights the entire table. Would you believe that? We got a table head, which are the headers. We got the T body, just like we were just doing, and then we got the rows, and then the data. Look at that. So we do the same thing. We just go and we get the data. So let me open up my Python again. Basically, I could reuse this code and say up here, instead of, I'll change the website obviously, and then I'll say soup.find to go get the table. I mean, it's still a T body, so that's awesome. Where did that go? T body, yeah, it's still T body. Now it doesn't have all those other attributes and things, but that's okay. I can actually, instead of doing T body, I can say table right here, because notice how it highlights different stuff. Like sometimes tables are different, but basically you just find the easiest one to work with and say table. I think here I would just do table instead, and then I would say class can stay the same, and then I would take this wiki table plain row headers and put that right here in these quotes to say, hey, I want that specific table, go find me that. And then I mean, the rest is like normal, and just do tr instead of td right here if I want all certain things. If I want, where do I have the name of the game? Right here. So yeah, then I would take my T-body table that I have imported right here, and I would say, go get me all the, oh, look, this is like a combination of the top 100 websites and the top 100 movies. We have an href right here. So then we can say A right here, give me all the ahrefs, and then we could look at our Rotten Tomatoes code over here that does that. Just find all A's inside of there, and will give me all those links. And then we can just parse through it again. So the whole idea behind this module is just parsing through data and getting it off the internet without an API. We'll talk about APIs probably in a week. So, yep, that's that. Hope you have a good week. I'll see you later.